Hey guys, welcome to the first ever Casual Talk Pod. This has been 2.5 months of waiting, and it's been it's been a long time and a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams.
It's time to start our journey to this.
So I'm Check the Rock. And I'm here with Mastermind Hoops,
Imanol Perez.
and I guess here we go. On it. So let's start off with
What
the
just
heart.
happened? We just saw.
Well, we just saw the downfall of our favorite team, Miami Heat, in Game 7 at home against Boston. So just want to start off by saying the Heat, they came off. I feel like they came off really slow.
Oh yeah, the first quarter that definitely lost them the game. If they came up with a bit more of intensity, they would have kept up better had the game gone deeper in the trenches.
And then we can't not give credit for the Celtics and what they did either.
Oh, of course.
They came out with the mentality of this shit's ending tonight. There ain't no other night. We're ending this in the first quarter. And that's what they did. They ended it in the first quarter, and the
I mean, the
Heat
Celtics are a good ass team. As simple as that.
just didn't. I feel like the Heat were downright just hurt, done.
They were missing a second score.
I don't know if you saw it, but when uh Kyle Lowry was getting off the bus in Boston for Game 6,
Oh no,
that
he was hurt. He was gone.
that
His
dude
hamstring
wasn't right.
was not. Yeah, his hamstring was cooked.
Tyler Hero, he only played like 7 minutes tonight.
His groin was cooked.
He was done. I know you hate this guy. You hate him. Every time I bring him up to you, you don't want to hear his name. But Duncan Robinson,
Is cooked.
the dude's gone.
Is cooked.
The dude
Is cooked. He's cooked. He's done. He's cooked. He can score. He can give you 3-point shooting from time to time, but he's defensively so bad. He's so bad defensively. And if his shot is not falling, he has nothing.
Very true. But like what the Heat do with the development system, they found Max Strus, who literally is Duncan Robinson, but a defender and has a bigger body
But can defend.
that can defend. But he didn't
But
show up.
this is an Eric Spoelstra team. If you can't defend, you're most likely not going to see the court unless you bring a really good offense, which what Tyler Hero brought most of the season.
Yeah, 6 man of the year. Dude averaged like high double digits. I mean, the dude deserved it. From being from Wisconsin and seeing my boy Tyler Hero go out like that. Nah, bro. It's sad.
I mean, no, he had a really bad playoffs, but that's also because the defense is tightened up on him.
Yeah,
He always struggled. He always struggled against length. Lengthy defenders have always been his Achilles heel.
He shot 1 for 14 before Game 7 from 3. Now he ended the series 1 for 15. Not good. I mean, the Heat need a dynamic second scorer, or they needed their role players to like all contribute to that.
The thing is, they're also a team that lived and died by the three, playing against one of the toughest 3-point shooting defensives in the NBA.
Very true. Butler, he did everything he could. He tried to be LeBron in 2012. Jimmy was there for Game 6, but he didn't show up in Game 7.
What do you mean he didn't show up?
Okay. No. I mean, he didn't like finish it off.
Okay, look, he missed. Okay, that was a bad 3-point shot. That was a bad 3-point attempt. But he had 35 points, 35 and 9. Like, he hooped. He just didn't make the three that he needed to hit.
Which we both agree that was a dumb ass shot.
He should have taken it to the rim.
Yes. PJ Tucker, dude disappeared. I mean, he's not known as like a dynamic scorer, but like you expect him to get 5-6 points per game.
I mean, he was like battling a hamstring injury the whole playoffs.
That is true too. This entire Heat roster is injured, and they still made it to Game 7.
There's no excuse though. Like the Celtics were the better team, regardless.
Very true. Bam, he had
a really good Game 7.
Game 7, and he had a good Game 3. But whenever Robert Williams was playing, the dude just disappeared.
The thing is, he's just really passive because when Al Horford was on him, we saw in Game 7 what he can do to Al Horford. Al Horford was not stopping that man. And he would instead elect to either dribble handoff or look for a shooter or whatever instead of attacking Al Horford or shooting over him, which we obviously can make.
Yeah. He like we talked at halftime, and I told you if the Heat want to win this game, Bam needs to have 20 around 20 points and have over double-digit rebounds. He did that. So I can't really give the blame to Bam because Bam did his damnedest.
And Bam's also clamping everybody up the whole series.
Yes, he needs to develop somewhat of a 3-point shot.
I don't think he doesn't need a 3-point shot, but he needs to be able to hit 16, 17 foot out.
Yes, so like middies. He needs to hit the mid-range. I mean, he could hit the mid-range. And you said that. You live in Miami, bro. You gone to games.
Bro, he can hit the mid-range jump shot. I be seeing it with my own eyes. He can hit those. He doesn't take them though, and it pisses me off.
If Bam can develop that tendency of shooting those mid-ranges more, the Heat are going to be golden. And he's going to be golden. Kyle Lowry, hamstring. The dude played great. I mean, he didn't play well in the first 5 games, obviously because of the injury. But in game 6 and game 7, he came out and gave the Heat all he could.
I mean, he gave you what Kyle Lowry can give you. He's really good at picking up charges. He can create for other people, even though those 3 assists say otherwise. He created for a lot of people.
But his biggest downfall, he called a timeout 5 seconds after the Heat challenged to play.
It was a bad timeout. It was a bad timeout. But it was also a timeout where he had to call it, or otherwise you'd take it and jump ball there.
Okay, who ended up winning? I'm pretty sure Did he score on that possession? I don't think they did.
I can't recall off the top of my head.
I don't think they scored. I think it was I don't remember exactly, so I'm not going to confirm anything. But like, I don't think they scored. Strus, he had an up and down series. Game 3, he hit that clutch 3 in Boston.
Bro, when he hit that 3 to put us down 1, I screamed. Was it down 2 or down 1? It was down 2. It was down 2.
Yeah.
I screamed, bro.
An update actually on Jimmy Butler. He said my thought process was going for the win. My teammates liked the shot and I took it. I'm living with it.
Like I said, I'm not mad that he took it, but like I think he was better off driving going to OT, especially with considering the fact that you just destroyed all momentum from the Celtics going into OT. I think you take the OT there.
100%. And then obviously Victor, and we've talked about this before. I thought Victor should have started.
No, I don't think he should have started up until Kyle Lowry looking cooked entirely. Just because I like having Depot off the bench, having another dynamic scorer off the bench. Or so I thought that was going to be his role, but he just didn't want to score. He couldn't score for some reason in the series.
That's very true. Tyler Hero, I can't give him any blame. I mean, I can. I'm gonna give him some shades of what the fuck kind of a way.
He could hoop better. I know he could hoop better.
Yeah, but he was battling that groin, and
defensively, Tyler Hero is so bad.
And like we've seen like other stars try and play through groin injuries.
They're tough injuries to handle. Yeah.
If LeBron can't do it, and that man's Iron Man, I don't think anyone else could do it. Iron Man up until like 2019, but like.
Yeah, LeBron's age is starting to show.
But we got to give the props to Boston, though. I mean, like
that team is one of the best defensive teams I've seen in such a long time.
All Boston starters besides Robert Williams played 41 minutes. That's insane. Tatum had 26, Brown had 24, Smart had 24. They combined for 74 points. That's insane.
Marcus Smart is the reason the Celtics won Game 7.
Oh, easily.
Marcus Smart dropping 24 is the reason they won the series. The game, the series, whatever you want to put it. They needed a third player to step up. They got the third player to step up. The Heat did not get a third player to step up, and that's how Boston won the series.
But not only that, though. But
I do think the better team won. For the record, I do think the Celtics were the better team entering the playoffs. I do think Celtics were the better team entering the series.
Mm-hmm. Straight up, I had Miami winning in 7.
I said Celtics in 7 from the start.
So yeah, but like not only that, but Boston had 2 good role players coming off the bench, Derek White and Grant Williams.
Yeah, Derek White was such a clutch pickup at the deadline.
Yeah, for Josh Richardson,
Yeah.
they gave him that ridiculous contract, and during the offseason, it didn't pan out. And then once they got Derek White back, that's when they went on their run.
No, yeah, Derek White. Well, they were going on the run right before that, but adding Derek White got you a backup point guard that you desperately needed on that team.
And then Grant Williams, underrated. I mean, if I'm a team looking for a role player, this free agency or like whenever like if he was a free agent now, I would be throwing him the bag, honestly.
Those
Not
3 and D players are so clutch, man.
I mean, obviously I'm not gonna give him starter money or I'm not gonna give him max player money, but I'm
Obviously.
giving him like 12, 15 mil.
And I don't think Grant Williams expects a max contract when he's a free agent. But
No, but like I'm giving him at least 12 to 15 mil.
no, yeah,
a
he's
year.
definitely earned a get back. He's definitely earned a get back.
But like all props to Boston though, as especially you being a Heat fan, I'm a Heat fan, I'm a LeBron fan. We hate Boston to our guts.
I can appreciate good basketball. It's as simple as that. That's good basketball. They play good basketball. Their brand of basketball is fun to watch when Marcus Smart and Grant Williams aren't flopping everywhere. It's
Yes.
fun to watch. It's just fun to watch basketball.
I'm gonna say this too. This is probably the best game I've watched all series. Besides game 3.
I think game 6.
Okay, I didn't watch it. I wasn't there to witness game 6.
Oh, you missed La Jimmy.
I missed the Jimmy. I was gone. I couldn't watch it. But I rewatched the game, but like it's not the same because I knew
Yeah,
what
it's
was
not,
gonna
it's not
happen.
the same. We're watching games, yeah.
But
Oh,
like
you missed La Jimmy.
But like this is a game 7 that we expected though. Because like, you look
Game
at
6 and game 7s are what the series should have been instead of the blowouts that we got the first 5 games.
and I think we can say that about like all the playoff series, especially the Warriors and Mavs series. That was going from blowout to blowout to blowout to like who wants
These
to
have
watch
been
that?
some of the worst playoffs I've ever seen in my life. And I blame Adam Silver for this, by the way. Adam Silver has cooked his players entirely. The scheduling is ridiculous. At least David Stern gave you some rests. This man doesn't give you rests.
No. I mean, granted, David Stern too, he had some like back-to-back day off,
Back-to-backs
back-to-back.
aren't an issue. The problem is when you give them so many 4 out of 5 day, 4 games in 5 days, 7 games in like 6 days, in like 5 days, those cook you.
Yes.
Yeah, those cook you entirely. And the way Adam Silver books the scheduling, where you play 4 or 5 games almost every week, is ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Like I feel like in the Eastern Conference Finals, like I understand that you don't want to like you want to have a game every other day, but maybe they should try and switch it to like the
Back to
first
2.
the first 4 games or something like that. Play off, play off, play off.
No.
then-
What the thing that really made me mad about the scheduling of this playoffs is when the Heat went to Boston or when the Warriors went to Dallas. They gave you 1 day off instead of the typical 2 days off that you get when you do a trip like that.
Oh, 100%.
That really ticks me off because I know the players are feeling it.
100. Well, and if you think about this though, like if you're, especially in the finals, because I don't know exactly what the final schedule is like this year, but like if it's, I don't think it's the same format, but if it's still that same format, just imagine flying from Oakland to Boston and having to play the next day.
Nah, that's gonna be brutal, man. That's also a big reason why I'm so against the 1 through 16 playoffs.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair if like let's say the Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets get a series, and then they play the winner of a series like Portland versus Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That's so unfair. That's so unfair.
Because like Golden State 1-6, they had an extra like what 3 days of rest. Granted, like that's what it's supposed to be like though. You want to win the series as quick as possible to get that extra days of rest, but like it doesn't always come down to that.
It does not.
But
But
Boston,
the counter argument to that is the fact that if you play a game 7, you're more likely to be in rhythm than a team that takes 5-6 days off.
very true. But like Golden State had a week off. They're gonna have exactly a week off. So they finished their series with the Mavs on Thursday.
And game 1's on Thursday.
And game 1's on Thursday. So they had an entire week off. But then you look at Boston, they only have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off, 3 days. And one of those days is a travel day to go to Oakland. Well, now San Francisco. We're gonna
Not
be all
San Francisco.
critical,
Yeah, Chase.
critical about that.
No,
But
yeah, you probably pissed off a whole city there.
well, I don't like them anyway, so come at me.
Golden
Come at me.
State fans are gonna at you on Twitter. We live in San Francisco now.
I gotta say this to you guys though. 3-1. I mean,
Hey, look. Don't at me. Do not at me on Twitter, okay? I am not part of this beef. I don't hate the Warriors, for the record. I don't, okay? He hates the Warriors. At him on Twitter. At him on Twitter, not me.
At me. I will get in with it. I will get in with it. But like, let's move on to the finals though.
Look, the team I want to smoke with on Twitter, Philadelphia. At me on Twitter.
Hey, Golden State though. I have you guys winning the finals though.
I think it's Boston in 7. Boston in 6. Boston in 6, my bad.
No, Golden State in 6, bro. I have Golden State in 6 though.
Here's the thing. I think the best team to stop the 3-point shooting is the Boston Celtics. They can clap up the 3-point really well, which is obviously the Warriors' strong suit. They also have Robert Williams in the paint. If you try to drive on that, that's pretty tough. And they can switch with big men with Al Horford and Grant Williams.
And like, quote unquote, the Celtics just beat the best 3-point shooting team in the league.
They didn't show that in the playoffs, but yeah,
No.
The regular season they're the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA.
But like, we can look at percentages though. Oh, Tyler Hero shot this. Kyle Lowry shot this. So on and so forth. But you're going up against the Splash Brothers.
Oh, of course.
Or the Splash Trio now.
They give the 3 splash Mountain Dew. I forgot what they gave him. They gave him a really weird nickname.
Yeah, it's like PTD or whatever. Or
oh
PTSD.
yeah, it was the Splash
PTSD.
Brothers. The Splash Brothers in the pool.
That too. But like PTSD though, because you got Poole, Thompson.
Honestly, Jordan
Steph
Poole,
and Draymond.
Jordan Poole's last name could not have gone to a better team.
I don't know how Jordan Poole fell, bro. I mean, he had a great tournament that year.
Bro, people were saying he was the worst pick of the draft as well, even though he went 30th. I was like, what?
Did he go 30th?
He went 30th to the Warriors, yeah.
Oh, geez. I thought it was sooner than that, but like people were saying how that was just a terrible pick.
If it wasn't 30th, it was 29th, but it was very low.
Yeah. I remember that one reporter on draft night literally was like, there's better players that you could have picked in the second round than Jordan Poole.
Listen, there's certain teams where you don't bet against who they draft. The Warriors are one of them. The Spurs are one of them. The Heat are one of them. The Raptors are one of them. When they draft, they know who they're drafting. And you trust that developmental system to get the best out of those players.
Oh, definitely. But so, Steph, I know you have mixed feelings about Steph in the playoffs.
I don't have mixed feelings about Steph in the playoffs. The thing is, he just has a bad history in the finals. Although I do think a lot of it is overhyped. I do think he wasn't as bad as people say he was, but he does have a bad history in the finals nonetheless.
And then I'm not going to let anyone not talk about Game 6 Clay.
It's true. It's true. It's tough to bet against Game 6 Clay. But I just think it's tough to win in Boston, in the Garden.
That's very true. We've seen many players do it though before, so anything is possible.
I mean, yeah, the many players are LeBron.
My guy, my boy King James,
bro. And Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Butler,
and Jimmy Butler. I mean, if we're going back to like the old days with like Magic and all of them, but like,
yeah, but
we're talking about the greatest shooter of all time.
We are talking about the greatest shooter of all time,
and we're talking about probably the greatest shooting team.
Oh, 100%
in NBA history. I mean, unless you're gonna, the 2017, 16, 17, 18 Warriors teams.
Yeah, if you want to nitpick a certain year, but regardless, it's pretty much the same core.
Yeah, and then you minus out Durant and you add in Poole, Wiggins.
Well, Wiggins isn't a shooter though.
But like Wiggins, see, I don't know exactly who said this, but I think it was like Stephen A. or someone was like, Wiggins isn't good. He literally said at the beginning of the year that he's not that player that he was supposed to be.
I'm
Wiggins
sorry.
is proving everyone wrong.
I'm sorry, but anything Stephen A. Smith says, I don't believe in. Oh my God, CM Punk really just won the AEW title.
That a boy.
Yeah.
But like Wiggins, bro. I think Wiggins is gonna be the X factor of this series. You know Curry's gonna get his. You know Clay's gonna get his. You know Draymond's gonna shut down players and get his assists, his rebounds, his blocks, his steals, and all of that. But like, you need that next player, and that's gonna be Wiggins. If Wiggins doesn't show up like how he did in the Mavs series,
Listen, Andrew Wiggins is a hooper when he wants to be a hooper. Let's say that straight and foremost.
and he wanted to be a hooper last
His
series.
his defense is going to be very pivotal in the series, especially when you're going to put him up against Tatum. I would assume you put him against Tatum, unless you want to put Draymond on Tatum and then put Wiggins on Brown. But I'd probably put him on Tatum. And have
Okay,
him,
so like let's go over like the starting in the matchups. So obviously you're gonna have Steph. So who are you putting on Steph?
if I was the Celtics,
Yes.
probably Jaylen Brown. He always struggles against size.
Okay. Clay.
Then I'd probably put Marcus Smart there. And if you're playing off ball, he could probably cheat a little bit on the double team and close out correctly.
And then Wiggins.
That would probably be Tatum.
Okay. Draymond.
I'd probably put someone like Al Horford there. And that way they can cheat as well on the other side.
Okay, here's a real question though. If you're the Celtics, do you go small? Do you start Grant Williams over
No,
Robert?
you start Robert Williams because I think unless Draymond does Draymond things, which is going to be hard for Draymond to take care of someone with a 7'6" wingspan. I think Robert Williams has to be pivotal in the series. Robert Williams is the X factor in the series, and Robert Williams has to play what I think Robert Williams can play to win the series.
Okay. So then let's go over to the Celtics side. So you got Smart. I'm guessing you put Clay on, not Clay, Curry on Smart.
Thing is, Curry's improved a lot on his on-ball defense, and Marcus Smart isn't a player on offense that you're necessarily worried about. He'll give you a game or two in the series that are really pivotal, but he's not someone that like you can count on to drop 20 every game.
So like I would put Curry on Smart
I'd probably put Curry on Smart, yeah.
because then you got to put Clay on Jaylen Brown.
Oh Lord, Clay's defense is cooked. Like obviously he's a great defender in his prime, but with the two leg injuries and everything, he has not been a good defender since coming back.
And then you're gonna put Wiggins. Do you put Wiggins on Tatum or do you switch off and put Draymond on Tatum?
I'd probably put Wiggins on Tatum just because you might need to put Draymond on Robert Williams.
Okay.
Or if Robert Williams is out, you can have Draymond cheating and switching on everything. And that's probably his bread and butter on defense, which, I mean, he does everything well on defense anyways. But I think having him be able to cheat and double helps you a lot more than having him as a primary defender.
So I think you put Draymond on Al Horford.
You might want to do that, or you might want to play small to counter and then put Pap Draymond on Robert Williams. Because if Draymond is winning that matchup, then you're in a good spot.
But the thing about it though is that like you're not gonna put Kevon Looney on Al Horford because Looney is not that great of a perimeter defender.
It's possible they don't start Kevon Looney though.
So you're thinking they start Jordan Poole?
It's an option. I think if you play that type of size, you kind of want to play small ball and pick up the pace.
Okay. So who do you have winning game one? So Thursday in Oakland. Oh, my bad. San Francisco.
San Francisco. Remember, you're gonna get added on Twitter by these people.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a hot take. I'm gonna say I might want to go Boston game one just because we just talked about it. I can see Boston being more in rhythm than Golden State because they have a week off.
Okay. I was gonna take Boston, and then game two.
Game two will be the answer back for the Warriors. Yeah,
I'm gonna go Golden State, and then I think everything else is just gonna be.
I think by the time they hit Boston, it's gonna be 1-1.
Yeah, and then I think Golden State is gonna lose game three, and then they're just gonna go rest of the way and just go out.
All of that, ask me after they play game 1 and 2.
Uh,
Let me see what the momentum looks like, how the players look like, what the matchups look like, what lineups are using. Let me get all that first, and then we'll talk about game 3 and 4.
I mean, those are just my predictions. That's how I think they're gonna go. But like it's opinions can change.
Of course.
But let's move on to our next topic. We're gonna be talking about the Liverpool game, and I know if you guys see from his background, this dude's having a rough weekend.
Not my best weekend.
So Liverpool played
Real
Madrid
Madrid, yeah.
and lost 1-0. And take it away.
All right,
Man.
for the record, he doesn't watch a lot of soccer like that. Football. So
Trying
I'll
to get back
lead on
into
this one.
it. I'm trying to get. I know a little details about it, but not much.
All
But
right.
I'm gonna mainly have my guy take this over.
All right, so the game pretty much goes down like this. Madrid start off parking the bus a little bit. Liverpool are the ones that get their giga press and attacking for the most part. They find a good amount of chances, but Courtois saves just about everything, which credit to Courtois. He had an amazing game. Late in the first half, Madrid found their first chance, and it was ruled offsides via VAR. I think it's the right call, but a lot of people will say otherwise. I think his foot was offsides. I think the ball was deflected off of his shin, so it wasn't intentional, making it offsides. But Benzema ended up scoring, taken out. So we in the first half 0-0. Madrid come out way better in the second half. They attack way better. Liverpool are a bit surprised by it. Madrid find their first chance of the game, their first real chance of the game through a counterattack. Valverde finds the perfect cross all the way to Vinny. Benzema makes a beautiful run, taking Trent Alexander-Arnold away from Vinny. Vinny has an open goal, taps it in, 1-0. Liverpool, after this, find more attacking success. They start pressing again. And Madrid parked the bus, just about all 12 men in the back. And Courtois saves just about everything again. And Madrid are your 14th time Champions League European Cup final champions. As simple as that.
But like, I want to hear some more like emotion. Like, what were you thinking?
I'm dead inside. That's what I'm thinking.
Like when Madrid scored.
I mean, I was at a Liverpool bar watching it, and there were some Madrid fans there. So when they scored, I thought we would still have our chance to score, especially considering the success we were having on offense for most of the game. And we found more again after that. The thing is, Liverpool have two glaring holes, in my opinion. They need another midfield creator, which we don't really have. We have Thiago, but him and Fabinho are both coming off of injuries, and soccer is a very in-form game. If you're not in form, you're going to struggle. And they're both just come back from injuries. They're going to struggle. We need another creative midfielder. I would have loved to see Keita play from the start instead of Jordan Henderson. I think Henderson's crossing sometimes makes me really mad. And Liverpool also need a true number 9 striker, which they don't really have a number 9 striker. They rely on Salah from the wing. They have Diego Jota, who can create and score. And obviously Luis Diaz is their big signing from January. And he's really good at creating, but he doesn't have the end product yet from there. Sadio Mane, who's potentially his last game for Liverpool, he was also can score, but he's not a number 9 striker. I think those are the two things they have to figure out this offseason: find a number 9 striker and find more midfield depth that they don't have. Real Madrid, where it leaves them, I mean, this is a down roster for them, even though they still won the league and the Champions League. I think obviously Luka Modric ended up signing the extension afterwards. Their captain Marcelo leaves with 5 Champions Leagues because Real Madrid shit Champions Leagues apparently. UEFA Madrid. That's what they're known for apparently. It's just like Real Madrid or Real Madrid. Like they stand for everything I hate in this world, but I give them the respects because those they just don't die. They don't die. A down year for them, and they're still winning stuff. It's amazing to me.
It's honestly, I mean, like I don't know much about soccer, but like I've watched some of the highlights of the game. It's just Liverpool had too many chances They just
Courtois saved everything,
yeah,
man. It is actually incredible. I have to respect it. Like he saved everything. The most Salah one-on-one was crazy to me. I can't believe he saved that one. The one that deflected off the post was wild to me as well.
honestly, I think Madrid's defense was more impressive to
Like I
watch
said,
than their offense.
they parked the bus. There's not much Liverpool can do with that. The Spanish park the bus and the British park the bus are two completely different park the buses. And when the Spanish park the bus, Spanish teams know how to just suffocate you.
Okay. But like, where do you think who's your projected end of the season champion next year?
I mean, I don't know. The Champions League is always really weird to predict because a team can catch fire out of nowhere and somehow win it, which was what Bayern did in 2020. And you just never know who's going to win it year by year. But if we have to go again, let's go with a 15-time champions Real Madrid because they'll just shit another one out of nowhere.
Okay, let's move on to our last topic. The last topic of the first pod. And we've talked about this a little bit. Is it time and should the NFL implement a lottery?
Of course, I think tanking has always been bad for sports, and I think teams like the 0-16 Browns are terrible for football. I think a lottery would help the NFL so much because then teams have to be competitive. They can't just take a year off.
Mm-hmm. So when we were talking about this before, so obviously it's gonna be non-playoff teams and all of that get into the lottery. Percentages are the one thing that's gonna make it really, really difficult. I think how they're gonna figure out how they're gonna do it. I mean, obviously they're still gonna do like, oh, okay, so like last year the Lions and all of them, they have like higher percentages and all of that. But like
Jaguars,
the Jags, well, the Jags have been there since what, like 2018 was the last good year.
I'm sorry, no team should ever have back-to-back first overall picks. That's wild to me.
Well, the Jags, that's the Jags for you right there.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what year, like how long do you think this could be in contention? Because like from what we know that the NFL has no word out saying that they're thinking about this. How long do you think the NFL waits this out before they even start considering this?
I don't think the thing is I just never know in sports, but I don't think they're looking at it. I just don't think they care about it.
They need to though. Like obviously you need to give the bad teams the players that they need to be good. But I don't want to, myself being a Packers fan, I love seeing Aaron Rodgers shit on the Lions every year for the past how many years. But like Lions fans, they're sitting here waiting like, when's it going to be our time?
All right, first and foremost, the Lions are cursed. That team is never going to be good ever. The Lions are a cursed team. If you get drafted to Detroit, just retire.
Well, rip.
Just retire. I mean, Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, they almost wasted Matthew Stafford.
Yo, Megatron. I mean,
do you know how dumpster of a franchise you have to be to waste two generational talents?
Pretty trash.
Like the fact that Calvin Johnson, who had no playoff success and had a shortened career, is considered a top 5 receiver of all time, lets you know the type of talent he was.
But think about how good Megatron and Stafford would have been on like a different roster. I mean, you saw what Matthew Stafford did literally the last season. He leaves Detroit for 1 year.
And wins the Super Bowl.
And wins the Super Bowl.
Ring.
Yeah, exactly. Granted, I think we all expected that Rams team to
actually we all expected that in the offseason, but once the season started, a lot of people were like, no, the Lions, the Rams aren't gonna take it, the Rams aren't gonna take it, the Rams aren't gonna take it, but they ended up taking it.
Well, they stole my boy OBJ from Green Bay, which is kind of sad.
He ended up making the right choice. I mean, what would he done against San Francisco? Because apparently y'all weren't moving the rock that game.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. We have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he'll figure stuff out. He'll figure it out.
Didn't figure anything out that game.
Hey, calm down a little bit. I don't want to go in depth about your team, bro.
Hey, listen, we suck, but I'm proud to admit the Dolphins suck.
But like, I think I hope the NFL considers it at some point because I don't think it's cool to see. The thing about the NBA though is that like, oh, you can be the Charlotte Bobcats, have the worst record in the league, but miss out on the first pick and not get Anthony Davis. I mean,
And then draft Michael Kidd Gilchrist
but like,
with Bradley Beal right there.
yeah, with Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard.
Can you imagine what Kemba Walker Bradley Beal lineup would look like?
No defense in the backcourt, I'll tell you that.
No whatsoever. But football, talking about football.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I want to see the bad teams eventually get good, but like, you need to do it in a sort of a way where you can't rely on the draft. Like, the NFL needs to give out like bonuses.
I mean, in my opinion, even better than that, what you could do now that there's a USFL and XFL and other leagues like that, just do what soccer does and relegate teams that are trash.
Yeah.
Send them to the second league and then promote teams from the champions from the other teams up there. That's another option you could do. And I would have loved to see that in American sports, but that's going like knowing how Americans in their attention span are compared to Europeans or South Americans with their attention span, like people would stop caring about teams so quick.
I mean, what do you think about giving out like bonuses? So like, let's just say like this is just for, like as an example. So let's say like we look at the Lions Caesar's book, how many wins that they're projected to get this year. They have to beat that. Or like the NFL needs to add like 2 wins to that, and then they get bonuses.
I don't think the NFL is going to want to promote like gambling on wins and stuff like that, considering the fact that this is the same stuff that has Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame.
No, I mean like they use wins.
Yes. But that's basically gambling, and you don't want to gamble or shave points or whatever.
That's very true.
You don't want to do any of that.
But like, I think we all agree that like, at least I think that there should be some sort of like a lottery in some sort of a way.
I would love to see a lottery in football. I think there should be a lottery in football. I think teams should not get rewarded for tanking and purposely losing games.
But do you think that's going to lead to things being rigged in the lottery?
I mean, of course, the NBA lottery is always rigged.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I can
Cleveland took way too many first round picks. I mean, Derrick Rose should have been a Heat player, but Chicago,
New Orleans, Anthony Davis should have been in Charlotte. We all knew it.
Yeah,
Patrick Ewing shouldn't have been in New York. LeBron shouldn't have been in Cleveland. Like, come on, bro. But like, it happens though.
It happens. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'd rather see a generational first overall pick not wasted on a team like Detroit or Cleveland. Cleveland's looking better now, obviously. But you know, there's certain franchises where like I'm certain that certain players do not want to be drafted to.
Of course.
And like they know their career's done. Like I feel bad for anyone to get drafted to Sacramento.
Yeah.
And the league will do anything possible to not have a generational player drafted in Sacramento. Sorry, DeMarcus Cousins.
Sorry, Tyrese.
No, he's out now. He's out now.
Yeah, thank God. Like my boy Tyrese, bro. Wisconsin native.
Sorry, De'Aaron Fox.
From Wisconsin, bro. Hey, man, at least De'Aaron's staying loyal.
Nah, he's going to be a Heat player in a couple years. He's going to talk to Bam. He'd be like, "Yo, Bam, hook me up."
Bro, you say everyone's going to the Heat.
I mean, eventually I'm going to be right some one time.
Oh, gosh. But, guys, I think that is that a wrap for tonight?
That should be a wrap for the first episode, yeah.
We're going to have to enjoy watching the finals. I mean, a lot's coming up. OTA started the NFL. Baseball is catching into its groove. It's almost All-Star weekend almost. The draft is coming up soon too for the NBA. I mean,
that's gonna be a fun pod when we break down the draft.
Preseason is starting too for the NFL in what, like 2.5 months.
Soccer transfer window, Stanley Cup.
Exactly, Stanley Cup. I mean, sports is heating up right now.
This is probably this is the second best time for sports. behind October, November.
Well, yeah, because then you got NBA starting again, the World Series, and the NFL.
The NFL's the midway. Stanley Cup starts. Soccer starts.
Literally everything starts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best time.
But from the casual talk from Check the Rock
Also,
to
my hoops.
we are out, and we'll catch you
Check our links in the description, our socials.
Twitter.
If you want to add this San Francisco, if you want to add this man,
come at me. Come at me, Oakland. Come at me.
Oakland.
Come
It's
at
coming.
me. Yep, our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube
everything-
channels, everything's in the description. Go
everything.
follow us, subscribe, and hopefully we can build a family out here.
And the next pod should be. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
We'll see. Well, let's surprise him.
Surprise you guys for the next pod.
Yeah.
And well, that's a wrap for the night. We'll catch you all later. Peace.